Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is this code. I teach beginner friendly coding tutorials using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. This session is perfect for beginners, either you are just learning or you want to practice what you learn. In today's live session, we will continue with the responsive e-commerce website from where we stopped in the last video. In the responsive e-commerce website, this is what we have. We have the header section, we have the home section, we have the category section, the feature product section, we have the div section, we have the newsletter section, and the footer section here. But in our project, we stopped at the popular category section. We have the navbar, the home section, and the category section. Our goals is to make sure the website is fully responsive and have all the right section like feature products, div section, newsletter, and the footer. So guys, let's dive in. Where we are going to start from now is our feature products. Inside our feature product card here, we have image, we have icons, we have text, and we have another icon here. So inside the image here, this we have four different cards. The four different cards are inside the div. The four different cards are being wrapped inside each div. So we are going to have four different separate div for the four image here. So now let's create a new section for it. Let's give it a class issue. Feature product. An ID of shop. Inside this section, we are going to have a div of container. We wrap everything inside the container. Container here. Inside each div here, we have image, followed by icons, followed by text, then followed by the amount, followed by another icon again. So the first thing we are going to have here is the image, is the the H2 text, the heading text, which is the feature product. So now the first will be the H2. For the featured products. Immediately after the featured products, we are going to wrap everything inside another grid, which will be, let's give it product grid. Inside the grid, we have the badge, we have the images, we have the text, and we have the icons. So dot product badge. Another div for the image. after the image, for this product for the product actions, then inside the button here, we should have our icons. We have three icons. We have the love, the add to cart, and the eye icon here. So now let's go to the font horizon to get our icons. To get the icon here, let's copy the code snippet. Paste it inside our button. Then let's copy and paste the button 3 times. Yeah. The second icon will be add to cart icon, while the third icon will be the eye icon. Let's get the icon from the font horizon. That should be cut. Copy the code snippet, then we paste it inside our button, inside the button. Then the third icon also. Copy the code snippet, paste it inside the button. Let's see what we have so far in our browser, the browser here. Okay, this is what we have. These are the icons. This is the image. Then for the product info, we wrap the product info inside another div as well. For the text, that will be inside the h3. Then for the price, both the old price and the new price. Then for the product rating, the icons, for the rating icons here, we wrap everything inside another div again. Okay, let's go back to our code editor. Now you have to get the icon from the from font ISO, the star icon. Copy the code snippet here and paste it inside the product rating div. You need 5-star here, so let's just paste it, copy and paste it. I copy and paste it 4 times because I'll be needing a half shape star also. Yeah, the half stroke one for the last one. That will be for the last. So let's see what we have now in the browser. Okay, fine. This is what we have so far. Let's copy and paste the card for 3 more times. Now we need to put a span here. That's great. There should be a div here for the product card to wrap everything together before our badge. Okay. So now we have everything inside the product card. We need to copy the product card 3 more times. Okay, let's see what we have. This is what we have so far. We have 4 different cards with images. Let's change the image in the HTML here. The second should be for image 2. The third card should be for image 3, while the fourth card will be for image 4. Okay, this is why we have different images now. So now let's tie Let's style the session in the CSS. Let's go to our CSS and style what we have here. For the product section here, the first thing we'll be styling is the featured product, the whole container that contain everything. The padding of 4M0 as usual to align with the other section. Then let's give it a background. The background should be the light one. Then the product grid should follow by the product grid. Let's see what we have. Okay. Let me divide my screen here for better view, so that we can have a nice view. Okay, these are the images here. Then for the product grid, the display, let's change display to be grid. Then let's adjust the grid template column. Let's adjust the grid. Should be repeat. Auto fit as well. Relax. Okay. You can see that the div is overlapping here. Let's give it a gap. It should have a gap of 2rem. Okay. Then margin top of 2rem as well. The next thing we'll be styling will be the product card. The background for the product card, give it the white background. A border radius for rounded corner of 10 pixels. This is what we have so far. Okay, the overflow, let's give it the overflow, should be hiding. Can you see what we have, guys? Then a box shadow. Our shadow. And then transition for nice over effects. For the over, the product card over. Then let's make this transform. This is what we have for the over. When we over on the cards, on each card, so the next thing we'll be styling will be the product badge. Let's style the product badge here. For our product badge, the position should be absolute. The top, to make it be at the top, I have to adjust. Should be 10 pixels. The left should be 10 pixels as well. Let's see what we have. Okay, makes sense. Background, let's give it a nice red background. We should have the accent one. Okay, then the color should be white. The padding, let's adjust the gap inside by giving it a padding of 5 pixels and 10 pixels. Border radius for the rounded corner should be 5 pixels as well. Then the font size of the text should be 0.8. Then for the product image, the position should be relative, not inherit. It should be relative. Okay. Let's give it a padding top. %, should be okay. Makes sense. This is what we have so far, guys. Let me make it more large. This is what we have for our future products with nice over effect. Okay, so now let's tie the product image, the image inside the product image. The position should be absolute. Then for the top, it should be 0 from the top. The left should be 0 as well. The width, you should have 100% width to cover the entire space. Okay. Then let's give it an object fit of cover. Okay, this is what we have. The next thing we'll be styling is the product action. Okay, so nice. I love this. So for the product action, position should be absolute as well. Okay, from the bottom it should be minus 50 pixels. Then from the left it should be 0. From the right it should be 0 as well, so that we can achieve what we want. Let's make the display should be flexed, flex box. Okay, let's should be by the center. Okay, nice. Then it's too close. Let's give it a gap. Okay, should have a padding as well. The padding should be 1 rem. Okay, then let's give it a background color. The background should be something light black. Let's make this 0.5. No, let's make it 0.7. Yeah, I think this one is okay, it's more better. Nice. Okay, let's give it a transition for nice over effects. Okay, so now let's style the over, product action over. Let's tie it with the product cards. It should be the product cards over, then the product actions as well. The bottom should be 0. Okay, nice one. This is what we have, guys. Nice over effects. The actions are giving nice CSS effect. So now let's tie the button here. Let's tie the action button. To start the action button, the first thing we'll be looking into is by selecting it in our CSS by product action buttons. Let's give it a nice background. The background should be the white one. Okay, so what we have, it's having the border. Let's make the border should be none. Let's remove the border. We don't need the border there. So this is what we have, but it's looking small. Let's give it a width. The width should be 35 pixels as well. Wow. Then the height, let's adjust the height to make it look more smooth. Let's give it the same height as the same width. Wow. Then let's give it a border radius for the rounded corner. Let's make it 50% to be exactly accurate, because 50% is half of 100. So wow, this one give us a circle shape. Then after the border radius, what we'll be having next, let's make the cursor should be pointer. When we hover on it, should be pointer. Let's give it a transition for nice over effects as well. The transition should be transform. 0.3 seconds. This is what we have. So now let's tie the over action button over as long as we stay there. Okay. The action button over should have a transform, should translate one. Okay, so now I think we are done with the action button. The next thing we'll be moving into now, we are going to style the product info here. We are done with the image and the action button. The next thing should be the info. The product info now, we select it in our CSS. Let me divide my screen again. Then for the product info, let's give it a padding. The padding should just be 1 rem. Okay. So now let's select the product price. The product price. Let's make that one a flex box as well. Should be flex box. Then a gap of 1 rem. Okay. Let's make it align at the center. Then we should have a margin 0.5 rem. 0. Okay. So for the price, let's select the price. The product price is the div that will wrap the price inside. So now let's select the price and the old price. If you can remember the way we give it a class in our HTML, the other time, we gave it a class of price also as an old price. So now let's select the price. The price should have a color. Let's do it the premium color. Then let's adjust the fonts. It should be bold. Should have a good font. Okay. The next thing we'll be selecting is the old price. The color should be gray. It should be light true. Font size. Let's see what we have. This is what we have. These are the prices. The old price, same as the new price. Here we can't see the price because of the image. We adjust that. So now let's focus on the rating. Let's style the product rating. For the product rating, let's give it a color. The color should be a good one. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, this is what we have here. As for this, the image is not balanced. For the second image, let's see what's happened. Let's go through the CSS one by one. Product, give you a padding, background, same as background, then the display grid. Okay, okay, this is what we have. The product image here is very little. For the product image, what do we have here? Give it a top of 0, left of 0, width of 100%. Oops, we did not give it a height. Should have a height of 100% as well. I choose the height. So this is what we have. The height is overflowing because we did not give it a specific height. So now the height is 100%. This is what we have. So now we are done with the feature product session. We are moving to the next session. Let's check what we have here. Okay, after the feature products, we have the deal session. So now let's move to the deal session here. First style it, write the codes in the HTML, then we style it in the CSS. Let's move on and see what we can do. Go to the HTML here. We have in this another section for the deal. So now let's select the deal session, be a new section. We give the session a class. Class of deal. Okay, then ID of deal as well. Then inside the section, yeah, we wrap everything inside the container. Then inside the container, we have the deal grid. Okay, and inside the grid, there will be the deal card for each cards. Then inside the card, what do we have? What do you have in the website, in the browser? We have two different cards, the card 1 and the card 2. The card 1 contain flash sales up to 50% off and shop now button. The second card contain new arrivals, summer collections and discover button. So now we need to create two different div for each card, which the first div will contain the first content, the second div will contain the second content. So now we already wrap the card inside the div grid. So the next thing will be wrapping it inside the div card. Then we have our div content. Okay, so now after the div card, we should have the div content. Okay, inside the div content, we have our h3 for the title, for the should be the flash sales. Okay, then for the other text, we are using paragraph for that, up to 50% offer, 50% off. Then the next thing we are having here is the button. We wrap the button inside an anchor tag. Okay, give it a class of button secondary. This one should be button secondary. We already have a button primary before. Okay, we should have a shop now. Then we copy all the div content here, all our div cards. We copy here, then we paste it again one more time for the second card. So what we should have inside, it should be this one will be the new arrivals, not flash sales anymore. New arrivals, then a paragraph of summer collection. Okay, then the next one, the last one will be the button as well for the discover. Okay, so now let's tie the deal section in our CSS. We're already done with the HTML. Let's see what we have so far. Okay, now let's tie them in the CSS. Let's move to the CSS here. The first thing will be styling, will be the deals here. Okay, for the deals, you should have a padding as well as the other one to have a padding of 4M0. Then the deals grid, it should be displayed as grid. And then let's adjust the contents column. Okay, it should be repeat as well. Should have auto fit. should be 300 pixel, comma 1 FR. Okay, this is what we have. Then the gap, there should be 2 rem. Okay, so now the next thing will be the deal card. Let's style the deal card as well. The position should be relative. Okay, so now let's give it a background image. Okay, this is the image we are using for the deal card. Then let's make the background size should be cover. Okay, then the background position as well. It should be center. Then the padding of 2 rem. Let's give it, you should have a border radius for the rounded corner. Border radius of 10 pixel. Then the color should be white. So align the text should be center. Okay, now we have our text in the center, makes sense. Now the overflow should be hiding. We don't want anything to overflow at all. Should be hiding. Then we need to give it a z index. Okay, the z index should be 0, because if you check what we have, what we are working towards in the browser here, the image is having a solid black overlay. So now we give the background, the image background is an index of 0, so that we give the color the z index higher than 0, so that it will be the one at the top and the image will be the one at the down. And we already give an overflow over hiding, so that the image and the text will not be overflowing. So now let's give it a solid color. Okay, the content should be an empty. The position should be absolute. From the top should be 0. From the left should be 0 as well. Then the width should be 100% of the content. The height should be 100% of the content as well. Then let's give it the color, the background. It should be solid light black. Okay, this is what we have. Let's make it 0.6. Makes sense, yeah. So now let's give it a z index of 1, as I said earlier. and let's give it a rounded corner border radius. For the rounded corner, I think that should be 10 pixels. This is what we have in this section. Now the next thing we'll be styling is the texts. We're going to be styling the texts one by one. But before we style the texts, let's style the deal card and the deal content. Okay, the deal card, then the deal content. It should be relative. Then is an index of 2. Can you see what we have? The deal content. When I give the deal content and the div card is a index of 2, and I already gave the black solid color the z index of 1, so this black color will be the one at the down, while the text will be the one at the top. Okay, so let's move on. Now let's select. I think the next thing we have to style here is our button. Okay, I said we are coming back to that later to style the button. So now I think we should move to the next section. We already achieved what we need here. So now the next section will be what? Let's check what we have here. I think it should be the newsletter. We're almost done, guys. The newsletter here. Okay. So now let's go to for the newsletter here. We move to our HTML and create a new section for the newsletter. So now what we'll be having for our newsletter, we already have a section, so we give it a class. Newsletter. Then after the class, we wrap everything in a container as well. Okay. Then the next we'll be having is the newsletter content. The newsletter content. So all the content will be inside the div of the newsletter content. So now the next thing is to we have our h2 inside the content. Subscribe. Okay. Then we have a paragraph of text. Yeah, let me type it. Okay. Okay, this is what we have. So after the newsletter content, after the paragraph, the next thing we'll be having is the form. We have the form also inside the content as well. The form should have a class of newsletter form. Okay. Then in the input, it should be the type should be email, because the input is made for email. The placeholder, your email address for the placeholder. Then after the placeholder, let's make it required. Then we should have a button here as well. Class of button primary. Then the content of the button should be subscribe. I think you are done with the newsletter section here. This is all we have. This is all the content. So the next thing is to style it in the CSS. So now let's move to our CSS. Let's see what we have in our browser first. This is what we have. So now let's style it and make it more look nice in the CSS. Okay. So the first thing we'll be having here, we style this newsletter. We should have a padding of 4M0, same as the others. Okay. We should give it a background. Let's align the text to be in the center. So now the next thing will be the form. Let's type the form as well. For the newsletter form, let's give it a maximum width. The maximum width should be 500 pixels. Okay. Then the next thing should be the margin. Margin should be to zero. For the margin, then let's make it the flex box. I think we should give it a gap, the form a gap of maybe 1 rem. Okay. So the next thing will be for the inputs. The newsletter form inputs. Guys, if you find this tutorial helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you. For the inputs, let's make the flex to be 1. Okay. The padding should have a padding of 1 rem as well. Let's give it a rounded corner. Let's give it a border. Let me read the gray one. Okay, then the outline, let's remove the outline. So this is what we have in our subscribe section here. It's making sense. Then now I think we should tie all the buttons together. So let's select our button. The first button we'll be selecting, let's select the button primary, because we already have bunches of buttons here. We have the subscribe button, we have the shop now button, the discover button, same as the shop now button here in our first session. So now let's tie all the button together at once. Let's select the button primary and the button secondary all together. The button primary, same as the button secondary. Okay. So now the display, let's make it an inline block rather, sorry. Let's see what we are doing. Let's give it a padding. So now the border radius should be 30 pixels. Okay, let's remove the text decoration. I think we don't need it. Here. Okay, then let's add a transition for nice over effect. Should be transform 0.3 seconds. Let's give it a box shadow. Oh guys, should be like this. Okay, this is what we have. The transition is for nice over effects. That also include a box shadow. So now let's select the button primary alone. For the button primary, I think we should have a background. The background should be the white one. Okay. So now let's give it a color. Should have the primary color. Nice one. So now let's select the button secondary. The button secondary should have a background of transparent, because what we have is something transparent, not having any color. Then the border, to see what the transparent look like, we have to include the border. It should be solid, the white one. So this is what we have in the secondary button. So let's give it a color as well. Okay, this is what we have. So now let's select both the secondary button and the premiere button and gave it a nice over effect. The button premiere. Okay, button premiere over. Then for the button secondary over as well. So now the transform. Let's give it a box shadow. Okay, so let's see what we have in the button. Wow, can you see the nice over effect? The transition of 0.3 seconds. Let's see what we have here too as well. Wow, all our buttons are now making sense. This is what we have so far in the website. In our browser here, we have the navbar section, which include the logo, the nav, the list icon, then the icons here, the list item, then the icons here. Then we have our home section, which include the summer collection, which is the H2. Then we have a button. We have a popular category here for the images, where we have the electronics, the fashion, the home and living, and the beauty. Then the next section is our feature products, where we have the wireless phone. We have 4 different images wrapped inside a div with 3 icons. We have text, we have prices, we have price, old price, same as the new price, and we also have rating. So now in the div section, we have our background, we have image as the background, then we give it a solid black overlay to dim the picture a little. Then we have a nice button over effect here. Then we have the subscribe section. Subscribe to our newsletter, get the latest update on new product and coming sales. Then for email, where you can type our email and subscribe. So now let's see what we have. What's the next thing to do? Wow, now we are only left with the footer. Now we move straight to the footer. Let's see what we can do. Let's go to the HTML here. We have a footer. So now in the footer container here, what we have, we have a footer grid first. Okay, then inside the footer grid we have the footer section. We have different, let's see what we have here in the browser. Here we have 4 different sections in the footer: the about us section, quick link section, contact us section, and the follow us section. Each section will be in its own div. The about us will be in a div, the quick link will be in its own div, the contact us will be in its own div, the follow us will be in its own div as well. So guys, Let's see what we can do. So now for the footer grid, then we have the footer section. We have the H3 for the about us. Okay, after the H3, the next thing you'll be having is our paragraph. Then inside the paragraph, we're having for the text. Okay. The H3 here will be for the quick links. Then we have our on other lists. For the on other lists, then we have list item. For the about us, should be for the contacts. Then the last one will be for the shopping info. Okay. Then we have the next footer section, which is for the third one. Which is for the contact us. Then we have on other list as well. Where we'll be having our list item. Then here we need icons. Let's get the icons from front away some. We need phone icon, an envelope, and the location icon. Okay, so now copy the code snippet here, then paste it in the HTML. Then let's put a telephone number. So for the second one will be the Gmail. We'll be using the envelope icon. So the last one will be the location icon. Let's give it any location. I'll just say 123 street. City. Okay, so now after the, let's see what you have in the browser first. This is what we have so far. Okay, so now let's tie them in the CSS. Let's complete the footer section first. The next one we'll be having